What kind of grief do you feel when you're in situations like this, or how does it affect you?
Well, you instantly just go into a mode of what needs to be done needs to get done. It isn't until after. I remember going after the patient went to the OR. I remember walking back into the unit and the doors closed behind me, and our doors to the unit never close. And I remember just breaking down, crying, and I had to hide. You know, it's sad that you have to hide from your coworkers, but you do feel like you need to just have some alone time to let those emotions out and cry. And everybody was giving each other hugs that day. It was the most amazing teamwork I've ever seen.
So did you feel like you had to hide for your own self to have privacy, or because you would not be supported?
No, I knew I was supported.
Okay.
It was more my own self. I just needed that little bit of a breakaway. And at being an ICU nurse, sometimes you don't. I don't know. It's just that you don't want people to see you cry, and so it was my own personal. But then after a few people did, they came in and gave me hugs, and then I knew that it was okay. It was going to be okay.
Mike, what are your thoughts about paramedics and showing grief?
I think most people tend to think that we're pretty tough and rough around the edges, and I've been asked before if you get a little bit calloused or anything like that, and I don't think any paramedic would ever say that they are calloused. I think you learn to cope with it, and like Melissa said, first things first, you have a job to do, and the emotions, can't take place. You can think about those things, and they're in the back of your head at all times, and I think that's a good thing, because that helps steer that passion where it needs to go. But after the calls, you think about that. You think about the parents, and I do remember. I think the parent was on scene at one point in this call, and I think that's when I really started thinking about it, because all I could think about is, I don't think a mother would want to see their baby look like that at this point, and we departed the scene. After the call, I thought about it for several days, which I think most high-profile and serious critical calls like that you do think about, especially the younger they are, and when you're talking teenage and below. I mean, I don't know what it is, but it holds a different place in your heart, and you think about those things. You feel for the parents, and when you have children of your own, you realize how absolutely life devastating, and how a split-second decision can change everything you know about life.